Hello everybody, welcome to another Vintage Cube video. We have a medium pack to start. I like Jace the Mind Sculptor a lot. A very good planeswalker. It's not great against red, but against most other decks it's quite strong. Mother of Runes and Monastery Swift Spear are both great one-drops. Layla's very strong. There's Sacred Foundry, Watery Grave, and Coalition Relic, but I think I'm going to take the Jace, just a really solid card. Coming down and immediately drawing 3 is very powerful, especially if you compare it with Force of Will and stuff like that. Okay, whoa, there's a Ragavan. Alright, I think we gotta take that. This card is nigh unpassable. If there was no Ragavan, I would probably take the Marsh Flats. This is a good piece of fixing. We could be blue-white or blue-black or Esper or basically any color combination like wants fetch lands, even Marsh Flats. Brazen Borrower is also decent. I think it's a bit better than Thieving Skydiver, although Thieving Skydiver is good as well. And Wrath of God is very good if we're just blue-eye control, but Ragavan is Ragavan. We will be taking that very happily. Given that we second picked a Ragavan, I kind of wish we'd taken the Layla first. Layla's another great red threat, but this is totally fine. Very good start. So now ideally we want to see some cheap interaction, sort of just build modern Murktide, so to speak. A couple like Lightning Bolt type cards to clear the way for Ragavan, some counter magic, and we'll have a good deck. Easy trophy. Just turn 1 Ragavan every game. Okay, this pack is pretty bad for what we have right now. There's no good red stuff. We could take like Avalanche Riders, but that's kind of medium. There is a fetch land, but it's not great for blue-red. Smuggler's Copter is a good card. That's probably the best card in the pack. Could also take like Duretti or Taiga. Kind of like the idea of taking Taiga actually. Red, blue, green is not a color combination I do super commonly, but that would just help set up the mana. I don't think I want to take a Copter here. Ragavan is not a card you necessarily want to be playing a bunch of. You need a lot of creatures in your Copter decks to crew it, and you want interaction in your Ragavan decks to clear the way. Granted, green does not exactly give us interaction, but I still think a third pick dual land is not bad. Duretti's good if we wanted to be Grixis, but yeah, I'm going to take the Taiga. Okay, now we have a few options. There's a somewhat late Pestermite, but I think I like taking the Abrade here. Consider's also fine, but Abrade's a great, cheap, interactive spell. Clears the way for Ragavan. Yeah, we'll take that. There's also Garruk. If we do end up playing Temur, I think like blue counter magic, red removal, green planeswalkers is a pretty good recipe for success. Okay, what do we want now? If we are playing green, there's Kodama's Reach. There's Inquisition of Kozilek if we're playing black, and then there's Treasure Cruise. Wait, we're probably not playing black. I do like Kodama's Reach a lot. The question is just, do we want to go 3 colors here? Because Treasure Cruise is pretty good. With that being said, one of the big pulls to play green in this sort of deck would be Uro, which means I'm less thrilled about having a Treasure Cruise. Galarian Academy is cute with Ragavan, but I think that's a little too deep. A lot of black-white in this pack. I think I'm going to take the Kodama's Reach here. Treasure Cruise is good, but I think we'll be able to get more card draw, and this sets up the mana very well. Okay, now we could take... Let's see, I don't really want Titania. We're not a Duretti deck. Dark Confidant's the best card here. I think I like taking Imperial Recruiter. Right now it just gets Ragavan, although Ragavan is a pretty good hit. I don't mean to say just Ragavan. And it could get better. Yeah, we'll take this. A lot of old bordered cards here. Love to see it. Alright, interesting pack here. There's a Stomping Ground, so we could solidify our red-green mana. There's Coma, but that's not something I'm that interested in. I'm more looking at the Koth and the Embereth Shieldbreaker. Shieldbreaker gives us another really good hit off of the Imperial Recruiter. And we already have a red-green land and no green spells we really want. Like, I would play Kodama's Reach if we have good red-green mana, but that's not... I'm not going to splash for Kodama's Reach. So I think I will just take the Shieldbreaker here. Having access to lots of ways to blow up artifacts is really nice. And this essentially gives us like 2 more copies because we can recruit her for the shield breaker pretty easily. Seems like a good place to be. Okay, now we get Manamorphose, Thundermaw, Hellkite. Could take Hangerback Walker, although that's kind of underwhelming. I kind of want to just take the Manamorphose. It's like adds a little bit of consistency, helps the mana fixing. It's really good if we get Uro. How good is Thundermaw Hellkite? Pretty good. Maybe better. Actually, maybe this card is too good. Yeah, I'll take the Thundermaw, actually. I think this card is quite strong. Okay, late Zealous Conscript. That's great news. We'll take that. Red is looking very open. We could also go more red aggro, but I'm going to take the Conscripts here. It's good. We could still backdoor into Twin. I think we saw Pestermite in the next pack, and it's also just a good card. Yeah, we'll take that. Okay, no Twin, but still, Zealous Conscripts is good on its own. We could take Unlicensed Hearse. I don't think we need Yorion, really. Yeah, we'll take the Hearse. This could be a main deckable card, actually. Okay, now we get Avalanche Riders. Not bad. So the only blue card we have is this Jace right now. We may end up cutting blue. There's an Abbott versus a Garrick. We could just be mono red. Yeah, I think we should probably take the Abbott here. Then Memory Jar. Titania. Okay, so red's the most open color. We'll see. If we get some, like, really broken blue cards here, Dak Faden, Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, that sort of thing, we can splash blue. If it's just for the Jace, like, this was our first pick, so we were seeing almost no blue that pack. We did pass one Treasure Cruise in the mid-pack, but beyond that, we weren't really seeing anything blue, so that's a possibility that we just go straight up mono red. Now we do have Mana Drain, which is a pretty broken blue card, but it's hard to play with what we have right now. Could also take Faithless Looting or Pia and Karen Alar. I think I like taking the Looting here. I do also like Croxa a lot, but we don't have any fixing for that right now. I think I'm going to take the Faithless Looting. But at this point, we're looking more and more mono red, and I sort of wish that we'd taken the Swift Spear. But now we do get a Dak Faden, which is really strong. Dragon's Rage, Chandler, and Burst Lightning are also good, and I think one of them should come around. So I think I'm going to take the Jace, or the Dak, and then wheel one of those two. Yeah, that seems fine. There's definitely an argument for just being mono red here, but I think the blue splash will be good. If we get no fixing, it could be a little dicey, but these two Planeswalkers are really, really good. Alright, pretty good pack for us here. Both of these blue cards are strong, but I'm not going to pass a Lightning Bolt. This is like the prototypical red card. One of the best red cards ever printed. Very strong, very versatile, cheap, interactive. Really everything you want. Okay, now we could take... Verdant Catacombs doesn't help us yet. It gets red-green, but we don't really need green mana at the moment. We could take Hazoret. Could take Ballista. I think I'll actually take the Ballista. It's pretty nice to find off of the Imperial Recruiter, and it's a good mana sink in the mid and late game. Yeah, we'll take the Walkie Bee. Alright, couple interesting cards here, but I think we should just take the Runaway Steamkin. Urza's good. Black does seem somewhat open, so we could take the Zaditor's Proving Ground and move towards that. But Steamkin is just a solid card here, and I think that's worth taking. Filling out the curve a bit. Alright, Chain Lightning, pretty nice one. More red-green mana, but I think I'd rather just take the nice cheap card. Now we can take a Grim Lavamancer. Ooh, Mystic Confluence is very good, but I think we just take the Lavaman here. Yeah, I would take Steamkin over a bad card. Or, sorry, I would take Mystic Confluence over, like, a bad red card, but Grim Lavamancer is great here. Oh, man, okay, well, I fought it, but if you're going to give me a Goblin Guide that late, I guess we'll move into mono red. I really wasn't trying to do this, but I think it is, like, clearly the open lane. There's a couple picks that are now suboptimal, but it's open enough that I think it should be fine. We take the Pia. I wish we had the Monastery Swift Sphere. And who knows, we could still maybe splash the deck, but blue is cut. Like, Yeah, if we get this super late burst lightning. Fine. The draft just forced us. I believe that there was one. Oh no, I think that pack had burst lightning and Dragon's Rage Channeler. Too bad not to get the DRC. Um, I'll take the escape to the wilds here. I think we're more likely to splash green than another color. We have 18 really good red cards here. This is like not the best mono red deck. Also, Unlicensed Hearse is a little bit weird. I actually think it's decent. Like, it can become a really big creature, but I would probably prefer not to play this ideally in the main deck. Zealot's Conscripts and Thundermaw both look still good as 5-drops. I typically try to avoid 5-drops in these sorts of decks, but these are both 5-drops that can immediately push a lot of damage. Okay, nice. Hazoret came around. Very happy to see that. It's not the best Hazoret deck because we do have some expensive stuff, but Hazoret's it's really, really good when it's good. And then even when it's bad, like you can turn lands into damage and it still can do some good work. Alright, I don't think we're ever playing either of these, so I'll take the Scavenging Ooze just in case we do end up playing green. Don't think that's particularly likely. Toski is kind of interesting though. Um, but we would definitely need some fetch lands before we could make that happen. Let's just draw Ragavan every game. That's my game plan. There's like several suboptimal cards in this deck. Unlicensed Hearse, Imperial Recruiter. Honestly, all of the cards that cost more than 3 are not looking great. There was a Koth that we passed in the pack 1 that I'm very sad about now. I would have loved to play Koth in this deck. We got a fetch or two. I could still imagine us potentially splashing green, at least out of the board. Toski plus Escape the Wilds gives us a lot of redundancy and grinding power against control. Okay, what do we want here? This pack sucks. There's only one red card that's not very good. There's no good blue cards. Entomb is a good card, and so is Time Spiral, but that's not really what we're trying to do here. I think we'll just take a Mox Diamond. I don't love this card in general, especially because we're hoping to play a low land count, but it's really good with Hazoret, and it does let us get off to some really quick starts. Yeah, I guess we'll take the Mox Diamond. I can't really imagine anyone else taking the Magda. We could take, like, Relic and Magda, I guess, but yeah, I think we go Mox Diamond Magda out of this pack. Okay, interesting pack. There is a Ren in 6, but the ship has kind of sailed on that. If this was earlier, we could pair that with the Taiga and really prioritize fetch lands, but I think that's not really what we're doing at this point. Dourfleet Daredevil is fine. I would play this, and I'm hoping it will wield, but I think we're going to take Ancient Tomb here. This is really nice for powering out, like, these cards a turn or two early. Well, one turn early, I guess. Fiery Islet's also fine, not even for splashing blue, which at this point we're not doing, but for mitigating mana flood in the late game. But I still think I'm going to take the Tomb here. Oh, what? Alright, we'll take Mana Crypt. That's amazing. Chandra's also amazing, and it's good with Mana Crypt, so I wish we could take both. But this is very late for Mana Crypt. This is great. I would love to play Murktide Regent if we could, although I guess we don't have a ton of cheap burn. But yeah, Mana Crypt is amazing. All of a sudden we got a bunch of fast mana. There's even more fast mana. But I think at this point, like, this isn't as good fast mana for us. And I'm going to take the Eidolon here. Yeah, this card is very, very strong in a lot of matchups. We did just take a bunch of things that deal damage to us. Literally 3 in a row that could deal us, like, 6+ damage over the course of the game. So if we play against the mirror every match, that could be a little rough. Let's move this Hearse to the board. We need a few more spells, but this is coming together well now. There's a late Volcanic Island, but again, I think we're not doing that. So let's just take Hellrider. Pretty solid play. Plays well with the fast mana that we just picked up. What is Imperial Recruiter getting? It can get Avalanche Riders, Pia and Kiernalar, Ballista, Eidolon, Shield Breaker. Yeah, seems good enough. Okay, we'll just take a Sunbaked Canyon here. We do need a few more playables. I'm a little worried we might not get enough, but I don't think we're playing like Worm Coil or something, so I'll take this. Do we have anything in the sideboard that's remotely playable? Not really. I guess we could play Unlicensed Hearse and or Memory Jar if we really needed to, but I don't want it to come to that. Okay. Wheel of Fortune actually seems kind of sick here. We have a fairly low curve. We do have a decent, well, not actually the lowest curve, but we have a lot of fast mana now. Yeah, that seems pretty good here. Krark is medium. Actually, maybe Krark is good. It's good with like Lightning Bolt. And we do have 3 1-mana burn spells, but I still think the wheel is going to be a little bit better for us here. And now I would like to play 15 lands plus Mox Diamond and Mana Crypt, which means 11 more basics, which means 4 more playables. So hopefully we can get 4 solid spells. Unfortunately, not a good start though. Yeah, none of this is playable. I mean, there's plenty of good cards there, but not playable for us. So if we do need to play one of these cards on the board, well, actually, we could play a 16th land, and that would be fine. But then if we needed to play another card beyond that, I think I like Unlicensed Hearse more than Memory Jar. It can be a pretty big creature, but still not something I'm thrilled about. So hoping we can. We saw like a Direfleet Daredevil. We saw Magda. Magda in particular could be sweet. It makes treasures, and you can sacrifice the treasures to put a dragon into play. So we could go like turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Magda, and try to make a bunch of treasures to ramp into Thundermaw. Oof. Someone took the Magda. Wow. Well, we'll take the Relic. But that's unfortunate. This is not a card I want to play. Although if we ever play against the graveyard deck, they're going to be in bad shape. Okay, sweet. Darfleet Daredevil does come around. Not like a unbelievable card by any stretch of the imagination, but very solid playable that I'm happy to include here. And now we could get to our 15 lands. Relic is on the chopping block. I would prefer to move this out of the main deck, but it's fine. And yeah, we could play land, we could play Relic, or we could play whatever late wheel we're about to get. Well, no late wheel here. I'll take the Murktide, but not going to be playing a double blue card in our deck with no blue fixing. Okay, Timeless Lotus. I'll just triple down on the Graveyard Hate. Okay, looks like we're not getting any super late wheels. Ritual could be good, but I think we just play it like this. This would mean we're playing 18 mana sources in a red deck, which is not ideal, but this cycles, and this is only kind of a mana source. You can't really count this as land. And we have Faithless Looting to move through the deck. I think I'm going to run it like this. There's an argument for just playing one of these 3 artifacts, but I think this seems fine. So 14 basic mountains, 16 lands. Yeah, we'll submit like this. It's not the best mono red deck, but we do have some nice acceleration. We have Ragavan. We have some 1-mana removal spells, which is a good place to be. And hopefully we can just, like, turn 2 swing with Hazoret or something. I think that could happen. See you in round 1. Alright, here we are for round 1 against Jundam Out 35. Cool name. We're on the draw, and we rolled a 1, and they rolled a 6. So that's not how you like to start the league. But we're going to draw a Ragavan, so all of our problems will be solved. I was wrong. But this is a keepable hand. Not really a situation where I love the looting. I don't, like, if we play it, we're realistically looting away most of our top end. And that's fine now, but then I don't want to be stuck in a mid game where we just don't have any live top decks. We'll see. Okay, I think I do need to loot here, unfortunately, just to make sure we can curve out well. Okay, so let's discard Thundermaw, and then, which is better, Hellrider or Pia and Kiran Alar? I think I like Hellrider for pushing damage, so we'll discard the Pia. And then we can flash back the looting to make sure we don't draw too many lands past 3 or 4. And now we can start curving out with some nice threats. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, still that one playing the Eidolon. Next turn we can play Hell Rider, which is solid. Snuff out, okay. We get 4 damage out of the exchange. Consider, that's fine. Hell Rider just a hit for 4 is not incredible, but it's not the worst. We could also, could also play Direfleet Daredevil. But I think given that we drew that, I just want to use my mana as efficiently as possible. So yeah, I'm going to just play Hell Rider. If they have a removal spell, it's kind of bad, but I do want to use my mana efficiently. We at least get 1 damage. Do they take it down to 12? Interesting that they're thinking so long. If they have a removal spell, they should almost definitely use it. Okay, they just take it down to 12. I think we're in a solid spot here. What's their 4 drop? Oh, well, we're not in a solid spot if they go Entomb Reanimate at all. We'll lose this game, but then we get to bring in 2 pieces of Graveyard Hate. Oh, Shallow Grave. Or Corpse Dance? Sure. This is not great, but it's not game ending. So we take this, lose all of our permanents. They only have 2 cards, though. We have a land. We need to find 1 more land so we can play these guys, but we're in this still. Mountain Go. Mind Twist our hand. That's bad. We have Wheel of Fortune, though, so Grim Lavamancer's not the worst. I mean, yeah, weird game. We're probably going to lose, but it's not over. We could just dome them 6 times with Grim Lavamancer. They do have 4 mana, but they also probably have a lot of dead draws. Okay, I think we just shoot them for 2 rather than attacking. So pass. Frantic Search. Okay, they might just be able to sneak attack or hit us with another big dude. Iona. Okay, so that doesn't work necessarily with Shallow Grave. Mesmeric Fiend. Okay, that's fine. We can kill the Mesmeric Fiend with the Lava Man. Can we get a land? All right. There's an argument to just not even casting this and hitting with the Lava Man, but I think it's worth it to develop our board a bit. Like, realistically, just hitting them a bunch of times with this is probably going to be too slow. This could actually speed up our clock quite a bit. If we draw a land, I don't actually think I'm playing the Wheel of Fortune, though. So at this point, what I want to draw is like Ragavan or something. Snapcaster Mage, consider. Okay, this is fine. They put Island in their graveyard. I'm not going to offer this trade. They should probably just attack here. Like, they know that we're going to kill their Snapcaster with the Lava Man. They don't, though. Okay. Yeah, I'll just kill this. I mean, it's not a blazing fast game. for us, but kill your dude, hit you for one. It'd be kind of awesome if we came back from them shallow graving away all of our permanents and then mind twisting away all of our hand except for one on back-to-back turns. Corpse Dance on Snapcaster Mage, and then they can mind twist to hit one of our cards. Sure. Okay, and they do have land, so they get to take away both of our cards. But I mean, this one was a total brick, anyways. Losing the Shield Breaker is a little bit sad, but this is fine. We go to 6. Bolt. All right. I think we just bolt their face to level up the shield. The runaway Steamkin. So that puts them to 8. Hit them to 6. All right, we're kind of doing a thing here. Who needs cards in hand or lands or board presence when you can just nickel and dime them a few times? All right, after a bit of a pause, they do let the lightning bolt resolve, which they had to do given that they only have one card in hand. So hit them for 2 and pass turn. Post board, we get to bring in 2 pieces of graveyard hate. That's probably it. I don't think we need to get like hyper aggro with Desperate Ritual. In some matchups, especially on the draw, that will be something we do. But I don't think we're gonna need to do that here because we're already bringing in a couple sideboard cards. All right, looks like they're just passing again. Okay, shoot you again. Ha! All right, they concede. Wow, not a game I was expecting to win there, but I'll take it. So let's bring in a couple pieces. Whoa, bring in a couple pieces of graveyard hate. What do we not want? Everything looks decent, to be honest. Grim Lavamancer might be a little bit weak. It's better against decks with small creatures. Although I guess they do have like Mesmeric Fiend and a couple things like that. Wheel of Fortune is a bit of a liability because it fills up their graveyard. Walking Bliss is also a little bit medium. Zealous Conscript seems good against Reanimator. Yeah, I think I'll cut the Wheel and the Lava Man. Maybe we want to keep the curve down. Imperial Recruiter seems maybe too slow. Yeah, sure, we'll cut that. Yeah, this seems good. We could also cut a land on the draw, but you do want to have enough lands in your Mox Diamond decks. Okay, good hand. No turn 1 play, but Steamkin into Avalanche Riders is pretty solid. If they have a really broken, like, Entomb, Exhume draw, we're going to lose. We don't have Graveyard Hate in our hand. Ooh, well, I mean, that was probably the best thing we could have drawn other than Ragavan. So we'll hit them for 2, or at least try to. All right, this opponent's playing kind of annoyingly slow. We've used under 2 minutes of our clock to their, what, coming up on 8, or just past 8? All right, take 2. Let's see what you got on top. Island, you're welcome. All right. So let's just swing and then play Steamkin. Thirst for Discovery on top. Okay, that's very slow. No play end of turn is good for us. If they're just playing Thirst for Discovery, that's also good for us. Oh, well, they could get us here. I mean, do they have the Shallow Grave on turn 3? Huh. They might. They need to make sure. Well, I don't actually know which. If they are playing Shallow Grave, I'm not sure which one's better, but they do this. Okay, so I mean, yeah, you got us. Turn 3, making us lose all our permanents again. Also worth noting, now we have this Ancient Tomb in hand as our only land, and we're taking 10, so the damage could certainly add up. We need to draw a mountain. Alright, that's how it starts. The problem, though, is that they're at 16 now. They have like a very high life total. And they have Thirst for Discovery in hand. The main phase of the Thirst. Discarding Shallow Grave. Weird. Okay, we're going to play Direfleet Daredevil just to exile their Shallow Grave so we don't have to worry about that. They might be planning on going like Snapcaster Shallow Grave. Okay, I'll scoop to this. Alright. Really solid hand there in game 2. Their deck is good. I don't think we need to necessarily mulligan 2 Graveyard Hate, but hopefully we can draw it. Ballista is just so bad, but I think we still run it like this. Like, what are we getting with Imperial Recruiter? Just getting like a Ragavan is too weak. Getting Piankier and Lars fine, I guess. It is good against Annihilator specifically. I guess I'll make this exchange, but both cards are pretty weak. Okay. Um, There's obviously heavy on mana sources, but turn 1 Eidolon is solid. We have Abbott to dig. I think this hand is just good enough to keep. Like, yeah, we could just draw 2 or 3 lands in a row and we'll lose, but we could also easily draw a 4-drop and just turn to it and, like, have an unbeatably good hand. They played Putrid Imp, okay. Burst Lightning, interesting. Let's play Abbott. Okay. Mountain. Swing. This pause makes me think they might have Snuff Out, which would be annoying. Although, if they had Snuff Out, they probably would have snuffed out the Eidolon before playing the Putrid Imp. So, now do we kill this Putrid Imp? The benefit of it is if they draw a reanimation spell for turn, or like if they draw like their Grave Titan or their Ulamog this turn, we can kill it before they discard that. The benefit of waiting is we get a Prowess trigger, which I think is actually better. Also because if they go for the Shallow Grave here, in response we can kill the Putrid Imp, and then that's the thing that will be Shallow Graved back. So it really is just like specifically they top deck Grave Titan this turn and have Animate Dead in their hand. That's really the only way that we get punished for waiting. I think 1 point of damage is more valuable than that very corner case scenario. Dark Ritual. Okay. They might just be taking out our hand here. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, it's not great, but our hand was bad. We still have 3 mana. I guess if we draw a 4-drop now, we can't play it, but we get to kill this. They're at 14. We are hitting them for 4. We have Eidolon in play. They don't have something in their graveyard, notably, so they're pretty far away from doing anything too relevant. Do we want to play this land or hold it? I think we hold it in case we draw Faithless Looting. Like, yeah, they could go like Liliana Plus, and then we could draw a 4-drop. So there are scenarios where this hurts us, but I think this is still worth it overall. They're dead pretty quickly to our beats. Okay. Yeah, let's play that now. No need to play around Spell Pierce or anything. This gets us a nice Abbot of the Carol Keep trigger. Hit them for 5, down to 5. And now we shut down any reanimation shenanigans they do. They could just play like Ravenous Chupacabra or something. All right, sweet. We take it down. So weird match. They comboed us multiple times. We still were able to win through it occasionally. We're 1-0. I'll see you in round 2. All right, here we are for round 2. We're on the draw again with a pretty funny hand. I think it's probably a mulligan. Dashing Ragavan on turn 1 is solid. But, like, just having literally no gas after that is too bad. So let's ship it. All right, we still get a Ragavan, but a much better hand this time. Do we put back Looting or Avalanche Riders? I think Avalanche Riders on the draw. Although, with that being said, Ragavan could help us ramp. Yeah, I'll put back the Looting, actually. Faithless Looting is card disadvantage, and that's worse when you're on a mulligan. All right. Oh, no! Oh, man, I'm sorry. Just a straight-up misclick. I meant to click on Ragavan. Now we're playing Goblin Guide instead. I mean, it's still decent. We get to hit them for 2, and then we can potentially just dash Ragavan next turn. Okay, another Reanimator deck. Well, we might be relying on our sideboard once again. Grizzlebrand. I mean, if they put Grizzlebrand into play on turn 2, I'll just concede. There's no way we're ever beating that. They might not have it, though. They also might have it like a Shallow Grave. Okay, I think we just dash Ragavan here. Swing with both. Shriekmaw on top, okay. And the Infernal Grasp to kill that, sure. So they take 2 more, they're down to 14. And we'll see. Like, at any point, if they just bring back Grizzlebrand, we lose. Do they have the Necromancy? No. Okay. I mean, we're still in this thing. We can kill this if we want to. See what we draw. Mox Diamond. So we can't do everything we want to do. All right. So let's just kill this and pitching the Mox Diamond. So I'm going to play this and do this. We continue to not give them lands, which is kind of nice. So this is a lot of their cards. They can play this and then evoke Shriekmaw to kill this if they want to. Yeah, looks like they are going to do that. This is fine. Chain Lightning. So play Avalanche Riders, blow up one of their lands, and hit for 2. And then the question is, do we want to Chain Lightning the Voidwalker? We don't really need to. Like, they can't cast anything scary. And we might want to Chain Lightning their face. So I think I'm going to hold off, although it's kind of close. They could always just, like, Inquisition of Kozilek like this, and that would be awkward. Oh, Thoughtseize. All right, so they do get it. But still, they're down to 9. They could use their Doughty Voidwalker to cast the Chain Lightning and kill the Avalanche Riders if they want to. Looks like they are going to do that. This is fine, though. I mean, then basically we're both top decking, but we have more mana and more life. Unfortunately, we don't have the mana to just throw that back at them. Oh, what happened? I guess the damnation was shuffled away. Direfleet Daredevil. Can that flashback? Yeah, that can flashback Infernal Grasp. Pretty good. It could also get Entomb for Faithless looting. I think this is better though. All right, so we have a creature on board. They're top decking. They could just draw, still exhume at any point and win, but there's a land. Okay. We also have a lot of live draws, including Hazoret. That's maybe the best draw we could have had. Actually, probably is even better than Thundermaw, because now we hit them for 7, and we can just kill them when we draw a card. Yeah, some top decks. Yeah. All right. Opponent is correct in pointing out that we got some lucky top decks there, but I'll take it. Same side. Well, okay. Definitely bringing in these two again. Um, I think cutting Wheel of Fortune for the same reason. They do have more small creatures though, like Una's Prowler, Graveyard Trespasser. That makes me want to have a little bit more of the creature removal type stuff. We could cut. Maybe we could cut Walking Ballista. We also could potentially cut Avalanche Riders. It's a lot less good against a monocolored deck. Yeah, I think on the draw, I'm going to cut Avalanche Riders. Might bring it back in on the play, but that's just not really that effective. If we see that they're playing blue and they just were mana screwed, then maybe we can undo this. All right, this sounds good. They could turn to Grizzlebrand before we can unlicense Hearse, but assuming they don't have the absolute nut, then this hand is very good. And like what we don't even have anything that can beat that nut draw either. Relic of Progenitus doesn't really work because they can just exile the Entomb. Oh man. What is this? Please don't be. Oh man. Well, actually, this is like kind of fine. I mean, it's not good. Definitely not good. But like Grizzlebrand's gonna get exiled here. They're not gonna have any board presence. They can discard to hand size here. Oh, they have Lotus Petal. That's really bad. I was very much hoping they weren't gonna be able to cast any spells here. But now if they Thoughtseize us, then we could be in bad shape. I mean, they were on the play and they attacked with the Grizzlebrand on turn 1. Pretty good. That's Vintage Cube. All right, no other play. They're going to discard a bunch of cards to hand size, including probably at least one creature that they can reanimate. And then we just need to hope that they don't get it next turn. Again, we have a piece of Graveyard Hate in our hand. The question is just, is 2 mana way too much? Opponents deep in thought about what to discard. Okay, so they decide on a bunch of lands. Grave Titan is the big boy. So we'll see if they have that next turn. We're just gonna drop our dinky little 1-drop into play. Like turn 1 Mountain Grim Lava Mantier is a scary start in a lot of matchups, but not compared to what they did. So they play a Swamp. Key turn here. Very key turn. You gotta think they just drew 14 cards. Like they probably have it. Okay. I mean, not great, but that's fine. We get to get our unlicensed hearse into play. And if they're playing mono red, they probably or mono black, they probably don't have very good ways to deal with artifacts. So this hearse could end up being a big problem for them. Okay, I think we discard Faithless Looting. And then we're just going to start going at their creatures. Discarding Makeshift Mannequin. I guess that makes sense given the Hearse. Although that is an instant speed one, so that can play around Hearse to some extent. Okay, I'm going to play the Recruiter for mana efficiency. Um, I think we take Abbot of Carol Keep here. It crews the Copter, and it can also help us dig for lands. All right, they plus again. Like, this is fine. We don't really need all of these cards. Let's pitch Runaway Steamkin, I think. All right, sure. We'll exile your creature and your makeshift mannequin. Land, good draw. I think I'm gonna hold off on crewing on using the hearse for now. We're just gonna attack the lily for one, and then keep on growing the hearse. Yeah, that's fine. Pia and Karen is very good against Liliana Edict. If they play a 2/3 with lifelink, that actually is kind of annoying against us. Um, I think I'm actually discarding the Zealous Conscripts here. Well, no, I'll discard the Abbot. Hmm. Yeah, I'll discard the Abbot. They discard Batterskull. I'm happy to see that go. That would have been devastating. Okay, then they kill one of our dudes. All right, let's exile Batterskull, Shallow Grave. Okay, we're gonna send everything to Lily. Okay, this is fine. Um, do we want to burst lightning this? I don't think so. If they want to Edict to make us sacrifice the Thopter, that's fine. Okay, they plus again. Think I'm gonna discard the burst lightning and really hope to hit land or a creature that can crew the copter or crew the hearse. They're down to 2 cards in hand. Then they play this. So what we want to do is play Zealous Conscripts to steal their Lily and then make them sacrifice their Murderous Rider. Hazoret. Okay, that works too. I think I'm going to go for Lily. It's kind of close, but I think that's worth it. If they want to chump block, that's fine. They do. So now they could kill the Thopter and then make us sacrifice. I'm not going to exile this Murderous Rider here. They could kill the Thopter and then make us sacrifice the Hazoret. But this hearse is getting to the point where it's a lethal attacker by itself, and it's shutting down any combo potential. Okay, yeah, they do this. No surprise there. So they're gonna get to kill our Hazoret. They're down to 1 card though. Hilariously bad draw. Do we want to flashback the looting? I don't think so, since we're gonna be pitching something to that either way. Hardcast, Shriekmaw, okay. So we win if we draw land. Land? Yes. Alright, GG. So this just ate their entire graveyard, then became a 12-12 and killed them. Sweet. Pretty smooth sailing. We're 2-0. I'll see you in the finals. Alright, here we are for the finals, fighting for the trophy against dogs underneath, and we have Ragavan on the play. Feels good. The rest of the hand is actually pretty terrible, but you can't mulligan a hand that has Mountain Ragavan. I really wish we had a removal spell. If they have a blocker, then this is just like only okay. But if we get to attack even once, it feels really good. Hopefully, if they do have something, it's an artifact. No, tragic. Okay, we're just gonna play Lavamancer, and then we know we're not hitting a land next turn. That is quite bad. Blue-white control, huh? Alright, I'm gonna dash this. I expect it to be countered. Ah, that plays... Yeah. Against that, obviously, we wish we just hard cast. Hit them for 1 and pass. But we're really far behind now. They're going to get to hit their third land drop. This is like... And we just have no pressure. So this is the sort of stage of the game that they want us to be in. We need to hit land drops. Our hand is good if we can draw the lands. They play Jace. Okay. Alright, I'm going to dash this again. Wrath of God. Okay, I don't think I want to jam this Embereth Shieldbreaker, so we'll just pass. Evoke Moldrift. Okay, so this means that they're going to be able to flip their Jace. So no point in dashing Ragavan this turn. Hopefully we just draw a land and we can play... Or actually, even if we don't draw a land... Oh, they flip their Jace now. That's kind of weird. Discarding Cityscape Leveler. Huh. And then they play tapped land and plus and pass, presumably. Sure. Goblin Guide, huh? Still just playing the Pia. This lets us go kind of wide. They also can't... They don't have Wrath of God in their graveyard. It's an exile from the Ragavan. If they do have another Wrath, it's bad. But, I mean, this game was just going to be bad when they took out our Ragavan, and then we didn't hit our third land drop. And since then, we've just been a bit behind. Spellseeker, okay, that's fine. We'll see what they can get, though. If they have, like, a Time Walk, it's really bad. Oh, okay, because they can play the Time Walk and then flashback the Time Walk with Jace. Their deck looks like a pretty solid blue-eye control deck. I think this is probably a decent matchup in general, but we can't afford to stumble at all. Do we want to play Unlicensed Hearse in this matchup? I kind of do. I think Unlicensed Hearse is a pretty good threat that's hard for them to deal with, based on what we've seen so far at least. Okay, they bounce one of the Thopters and pass. Back to themselves again. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna play Ragavan and Embereth Shieldbreaker. Just go kind of wide. Hope they don't have anything. Mana leak, okay. Maybe we could set up a good Hellrider attack. The problem is that they're at 16. If they were at like 10 life, we might be able to sneak some damage here and there and still have a chance. But they're at a very healthy life total. And my guess, I mean, they have been missing land drops, so they probably have like just tons of gas in hand. Teferi? Hmm. Okay. Goblin Guide. I'll send these to Jace. A lot of things that we can basically scoop to here. They have Force of Negation on top. Okay, that's not that good against our hand. They'll probably trade Glenn with one of these two. If they have Solitude, I'll concede. Did I mean that? I guess I won't concede quite yet. We do have Grim Lavamancer to kill one of these things, but like, I mean, what? So they're drawing Force of Negation. Maybe if their hand is just like all bad situational counters, we could get back into this. We play Eidolon. Like, our board is still wide. We have a lot of creatures. Hellrider will be good. Okay, they have Solitude into Defer. Oh, Fractured Identity on Eidolon. Okay, that's kind of weird. I feel like they should have hit Pia and Karen Lar. If they attack with Solitude, I'll do whatever I can to trade with it. Okay, they flashback. Wait, what? They just minus Jace on Fractured Identity? Okay, they might be just blundering our way back into this game. They don't have any attacks now. And then we can kill their Jace. Direfleet Daredevil can flashback Oust if we want to. Um, let's start by sending the Shield Breaker at Jace. I'm fine trading this with anything. That means we can use the Grim Lavamancer if we want to. Okay. Um, I don't actually think we even need to kill the Jace right now. We can just kill the Solitude first. So let's just play this and exile Fractured Identity so it's gone, but not cast it. They do also still have the Cityscape Leveler in their graveyard that they can unearth when they get two more lands. Okay, they shrink the Daredevil. That's fine. I think I'm going to kill the Solitude here over anything else. Could kill, I mean, any of their four things, but I think this is the most relevant. Jace is still, like, not that bad. If they have Restoration Angel, that's bad. Oh no, do they really have it? Oh, okay. Sure. Okay, we'll cast this. They should probably counter this, but they're not going to. Alright, Hellrider. They have another counter, don't they? Bummer. Okay, that happens. Alright, I'm going to send in Pia and Kieran at the Jace. If they trade, then we get to use Lava Mancer to kill the Jace. They do trade, okay. Okay, now they have Solitude, so we're going to need to make sure that we don't let them Solitude either of these creatures. But the problem is, they don't need, we can't really force them to Solitude if we just play passively. Ouch. Okay, let's go to combat. Send these two. Okay, this is fine. I think I'm going to kill the Eidolon. Um, because the Glen is going to die to our Thundermaw. Okay, I think I'm just going to pass here. We're behind, but I don't think we get in a better position by just jamming one of these things into their Solitude. We need to hope they play their Solitude now. Okay. And then we can, like, both of these are pretty good against what they have now. Like, they're going to get hit us for 4, and they're going to be gaining 3. But these two cards can race really well. I mean, we'll be swinging for 10 to turn soon. Hopefully they're just main phase casting Brazen Borrower, although I think it's maybe unlikely. Okay, that actually is. I mean, we'll see if they remember about the Cityscape Leveler. I think there's a chance they forget. But oh wait, they stole that. Okay, that makes sense. That's much better than stealing the Mana Crypt. Um, so let's play Thundermaw. We do play this, and then we can just crack it. We can save some lands for discarding to Hazoret, but this was one we can crack. So even if they can kill this, it's going to kill their Thieving Skydiver and their Glen. And then the question is, do we attack or not? If we attack, we hit them for 5, but then they gain back 3. I think we actually leave this back on defense. It doesn't feel good, but like if they hit us for 6, that puts us down to 6 when we have a Mana Crypt in play. And they're gaining 3, so we're really only hitting them for 2. So they can play their Brazen Borrower here. And then there's not much that we can beat. Like, I don't really know what we're hoping they have in their hand here. Um, Mystical Tutor, okay. Oh, they're holding Force of Negation still. Force of Negation, Preordain, sure. Top, top. And then pass. think I've lost every single coin flip so far. Okay, let's start with Land Hazaret. Hardcast Force, okay. Then we play this, and we can get Walking Ballista. Let's see. Yeah, none of these things do much. I mean, we honestly don't have much left in our deck. We'll take this. If they remember about the Cityscape Leveler and do that next turn, I think we just die. They can kill this. We have to chump block. Looks like they do remember it. First time I've ever seen this card in action. Not bad here. So they attack with everything, kill the Thundermaw Hellkite. Are only out. Well, I mean, we're just out on board if we don't chump this. Then we go to 3, so we're dead to a Mana Crypt flip. But Solitude will actually put in a lot of work here. So if we win like 5 Mana Crypt flips in a row, we could win. Oh, what? Oh, this has Trample? Oh, didn't even know that. Okay, well, we were dead that way either way. Okay, do we want to make any changes here? I think I like bringing in Unlicensed Hearse. The game is going to go long, so this thing is going to become huge. I don't think it's a Mox Diamond matchup, especially on the play. And I think we can just run it back other than that. Yeah, we'll do this. 18 mana sources. Not a ton, but I think it should be enough. Hopefully they don't have the oust for our turn 1 Ragavan. Okay. Zealous Conscripts in the opener is a bit awkward. But can't really mulligan a hand with like lands, a burn spell, goblin guide, another 1-drop. We might end up bailing them out from this mulligan if the goblin guide flips a bunch of lands for them, but I mean that's just sort of the game you accept when you play goblin guide. You don't play this trying to grind them out. Take 2. Dang. Gave him back an island. Preordained. So if they go top, they can set up another draw off of the Goblin Guide. Which they do. Ouch. Okay, I mean, we don't have a choice. We still need to get in. Not going to fire off the Chain Lightning here. That just doesn't really do that much. I'd rather save it to kill their Jace. No Jace. Okay. Come on. Alright, land, swing. Porcelain Legionnaire. Okay, so that's what we're going to be Chain Lightning. Playing Chain Lightning on. Chain Lightning-ing. Can you turn Chain Lightning into a verb? Okay, it looks like they have Shark Typhoon. Based on this, are they just going to do it? Yeah, it looks like they are. Oh, Petty Theft that. Sure. Now they can play Porcelain Legionnaire if they want. If they shock... Okay, they don't shock that. Deal. Okay, we can just do everything then. So, Chain Lightning this. Goblin Guide. Hit them for 3, and then play Unlicensed Hearse. Which could be a Mox Diamond. I'm definitely happy it's not a Mox Diamond here. Although I guess if it was a Mox Diamond, we could have attacked with Zealous Conscripts this turn. But did we give them yet another land? Hilarious. So we'll play this, pass. This isn't like a hate card. It's just, I mean, I guess it has some incidental value against Cityscape Leveler and Jace Vryn's Prodigy, but it's mostly just to be a big dude. 4 mana, what you got? If they play Thieving Skydiver, okay, it is Thieving Skydiver. Um, so we're just gonna tap this and exile nothing, just so that this is a smaller creature. And then we can play Zealous Conscripts and steal this and attack for exactly lethal. So they have to have Solitude. Sure. Our draw has been kind of anemic. I don't really know how it's getting there, but just like a bunch of Goblin Guide attacks. All right. Do you have the Solitude? That's the only card in the format that would make them survive here. Spell Pierce on top. All right. Don't really know how we won that, but I'll take it. Okay, on the draw for game 3. Thieving Skydiver is not that good against us, so I don't feel too bad about leaving them with a few options. That is a slight argument against Unlicensed Hearse, though. I think we still run it like this, though. I mean, I guess this really is quite bad against Thieving Skydiver, and all of our other targets are not. Could bring in Mox Diamond on the draw, although that's also bad against Thieving Skydiver. Don't really want to play Unlicensed Hearse, though. I think I'll play Relic. Not even for Graveyard Hit, just as a cantrip, essentially. It's not a card that I'm excited about, though, obviously. Okay, this seems decent. It's light on mana sources, but I think it's worth the keep. They're on 6 again. Chain Lightning, not really what I was hoping for. Okay, so this signifies that they are probably light on lands. Or sorry, heavy on lands. It slightly decreases their chances of us flipping them a land. And, um, well, yeah, yeah. I think it makes it slightly less likely that they have a lot of lands. There's a Destroy Evil on top. That's this removal spell. That's like pretty bad against us. I don't really know why they're playing it. It hits, I guess, Thundermaw Hellkite, and it hits Eidolon of the Great Revel, and that's kind of it. Okay, well, there's one of the cards. So let's play the looting. They can counter this if they want to. Okay, I guess we could have played around that. But I think, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it's right to just jam the Mana Crypt there. I could be wrong, but we'll let them down to 15. If they play Preordain, we can play Darfleet Daredevil and then cast their Preordain. So that's our... Hopefully we're able to do that. Okay, they just passed. That's kind of weird. What could they be holding here? Whatever it is, I think we still just swing for 2 here to start. We do give them a land this time. Vendilion Click. Okay, I think I'm going to bolt this click. Oh, they're targeting themselves. Okay. Well, we're still bolting. I guess, okay, they do put Destroy Evil on the bottom. Makes sense. This Mana Crypt has been so much worse than a basic mountain would have been, but they're still down to 11, or down to 13, I mean. They've land Preordain. They will almost definitely play the Preordain now, which means we can get our value off of the Darfleet Daredevil. All right. I mean, I'm not gonna not attack again. Like, you get your value, you get to feel all smart for putting your land on top. Whatever. Oh, they have Snapcaster Mage on top. Well, hitting this Spell Pierce will be kind of great then. What is this? Petty Theft. Okay. So we'll play Darfleet Daredevil, play the Preordain, and then we can just. I think we probably just cast Grim Lavamancer from there. Like they're contemplating a Force of Will here. They do it. Okay, this is fine with me. Um, I'll play Grim Lavamancer. They're down to one card. Pitching Narset. I mean, yeah, they have Snapcaster Mage on top. That's like decent, but not that scary. And we have a pretty full hand. Their life total is still a little high. They just pass. They don't even do the Snapcaster Mage. Okay. Mm, I don't think it makes that much sense to just jam Thundermaw into all this open mana. Yeah, my guess is that they have Cryptic Command. So let's play this, swing for two, play Shieldbreaker as a dude. Okay. Remand, sure. Yeah, weird plays by the opponent. Um, I think now we're not gonna attack though. Now we're just gonna, or we are gonna attack with Grim Lavamancer. We're gonna play this, swing for three, and then play the Shieldbreaker. Island on top. All right, you're welcome. Oh, they just play Snapcaster Mage to block. Sure. I'll be curious to see which one they choose to block. They go for the Lavamancer, sure. So they take two down to 10. Then we'll get our Shield Breaker into play. Pass turn. We have 4 damage on board. We're threatening to hit them to 1 next turn. They're holding. That was the island we knew about. So they have. We don't know their hand. They have this Brazen Borrower that they can cast. If they have Solitude, we're in bad shape. But still not even. It's not over if they have Solitude. They're playing something main phase, which means they won't be able to Solitude. They don't steal the Mana Crypt. Makes sense. But this Thundermaw is looking pretty nice here. And we might just be able to kill them this turn. We lose the flip again. Alright. Thundermaw Hellkite. Okay, so this kills this. I guess they're not dead on board because they can chump block the... Well, they're not dead on board either way. We're putting them to 1 on board. We have the Chain Lightning in hand. They could play Brazen Borrower to block if they want. We give them another island. Okay, so they're taking 4, going to 6. Do we want to main phase Chain Lightning them now? Plays around counter magic better. I think I will do it. It's kind of close. Now there's information. They know that they're at 3, which could matter. But I think it's still worth it to just make sure we get the 3 damage through. Put them to 3. If it was a lightning bolt, like an instant, then that'd be different. All right, sweet. We get there. Back-to-back trophies. Feels pretty good. Let's pull up the deck list. We are right there on the leaderboard now. So this was our mono red deck, and frankly, it's not the best red deck. There's some pretty big problems with it. First of all, the curve was too high. You do not want 6 cards that cost more than 3, and like this kind of does too. So yeah, curve was high. 2, we were playing some kind of sketchy cards. Like I didn't really want to have Imperial Recruiter in the deck. Even Direfleet Daredevil, which was solid that league, is a card that I don't play in my best red decks, at least in the main deck. So we were a bit short on playables, partially because we were trying to play like blue-green at the beginning. So yeah, those are the two problems with it. Third problem, we didn't have the best utility lands. We didn't have like any Mutavaults. We didn't have any Wastelands, Library of Alexandria, anything like that. So those were the three marks against the deck. But then the things that really made it good were, even though we had a lot of expensive stuff, we also had a lot of cheap stuff, a lot of 1 and 2 mana plays, and then we had great acceleration between Mana Crypt, Mox Diamond, and Ancient Tomb. None of this is like the true premium ramp, except for maybe Mana Crypt, but still, it lets you get your hand out onto the board quickly and be aggressive, and we were very threat dense, so even if we didn't have like the most explosive start, you could just keep on throwing threat at them, just keep attacking every turn, pushing damage. And luckily we never played against someone who really turned the corner and ended the game quickly against us, so we had time. Definitely some strange games that I would not have expected to win though. Like that first both of the wins against blue-white felt like we kind of just got by, and then we beat like Reanimator in games where we beat, I think, turn 1 Grizzlebrand Shallowgrave in one game, and we also beat Ulamog, hitting us for Annihilator 4 into Mind Twist your hand. So definitely some very strange wins, but I mean, that's awesome. That's very fun, and we got the trophy. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.